Jeffrey let our guests out of the cat's bag, the cat out of the bag.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be suspense, but it's fine. So now we know.
Suspense is providing enough information to the audience.
You can hear him speak, but you can't see him. But he's been introduced already. Thank you. Obi Emelonye, right?
Yes.
He's a Nigerian film director. He's known for directing award-winning films such as Last Flight to Abuja 2012, The Mirror Boy 2011, and
Onyozi.
Oh, okay. 2013. He's a former professional footballer and a law professional, graduated from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, with BA in theatre arts in 1990. He also went to study LLB law degree from the University of Wolverhampton in 1998, and so much more to him.
He's very tired.
Yeah, so much more to him.
Introduction.
Right. So Obi Emelonye joins us in the studio, as you can see, all smiling.
With plenty of awards.
Awards. No depiction of childhood trauma as I don't know.
My recovery has been
tremendous.
Complete.
So how are you?
I'm very well. It's nice to come back to Channels. I consider this place my home.
Wow.
The support that I've received from Channels over the years. If I was to pay for it, I'll be broke now. I'm already broke. So no, it's nice to be back. You guys are doing a great job, and well done.
Thank you. I know we wanted to piggyback on this whole trauma. I know you were telling us off camera how there was a lot of manual reset by your parents. Just like, maybe walk us. I know you are recovered. Before we get to your art and artistry, let's talk about trauma.
Yeah, I think just like the very proficient doctor said, everybody has a baggage, and it depends on how you condition your mind at the baggage and how you handle it. And I think parenting is nobody gets handed a child with a manual. You simply process based on your personal experience with your own parents and what you consider to be right in trying to bring up a child. And as somebody born in that era, when I say that era, I mean that old era, born into the Nigerian Civil War, the parenting at that time was a little bit more, for want of a better phrase, hands-on. So my dad was particularly assertive in that manual way. And I got a lot of beating. In fact, I'm part of a set of twins, and whenever my twin brother and my younger brother did anything, or we did anything together, I got punished. And my dad did not come to me to explain. I think now I understand he expected me to know better. It was almost like a sense of responsibility to me, but it was never communicated. So as a child, I felt that man hates me. But now, as a parent, I understand, and now I try and practice it with my children. If there is any punishment going on, it has to be explained. It has to be contextualized. So I've recovered completely, and I don't blame my dad for any of my behaviors.
You thank him.
They did their best. Yes.
We thank sometimes when you look back, you tend to want to thank your parents for, if you didn't do this, then I probably wouldn't be able to have done this, with my own children. So. It's all good. It's all good.
I'm good now. Recovered completely.
Right. So let's go to you. You received a claim was it how many years ago now? In 2020. For being producing a film via Zoom, working remotely with cast members. I think it was Heart to Heart or so.
Yes.
And that you did. And you were able to say, oh no, coronavirus will not stop me. We will do this. And you did. Not only did you do it, it was you received a lot of acclaim and kudos for it too.
I think.
How did that play out?
It came out of in lockdown. People have very short memory. Lockdown was brutal on us.
Yeah.
And everybody was at home. You weren't doing anything. There was nothing happening. Nowhere to go. And if you were in a bad relationship, it was exacerbated at that time. So I sat at home and I watched my wife do a Zoom meeting online, a work meeting online, and I said, if they could do that, that means we could actually direct a film. Now that we are not able to assemble together. So I wrote a quick script, called somebody in Nigeria and then somebody in London, got their parents and their friends to operate the camera, recorded it on my laptop, edited it, and released it as just being busy. And boom, all of a sudden I got so much attention. CNN, BBC, they came calling that I was the first person to direct a film by Zoom. It wasn't a thing for me. I was just trying to keep myself mentally and physically occupied. So it's about, what it tells us is that wherever you are, as a creative person,
desperate measures.
Just do what you can. You don't know who's watching.
And you have loads of accolades. Last Flight to Abuja, we will never forget that movie.
It crashed. The plane crashed.
Yeah, it crashed. We will never forget that movie. And one of the things I always like to ask, maybe too forward, maybe we'll come back later, is there's a new generation of filmmakers, actors. Some of you are some of those who were like at the vanguard of ensuring that we scale up. Our picture quality on one hand, our technical element, production quality is not just what we're used to. Talk to us about how it was either difficult or easy to be able to break now that we're not seeing these things as a new normal. But for you, that was you trying to be like a trailblazer.
Yeah, I wouldn't take credit for advancing the film industry in a personal way. But I think a new generation of Nigerian storytellers emerged around 2010, from people who've been to film school and people like myself coming back from the diaspora. And at that time, the industry was controlled by a bunch of very enthusiastic businessmen.
Marketers in Alaba. There's nothing to hide.
they had a peculiar worldview, which was reflected in the films the stories that they told and how they made those films. So when we came about, it wasn't just the production quality that we were looking at in terms of technicals. It was also the creativity, the script, the stories, and how we told them, and the kind of stories in the first place. So when The Mirror Boy emerged as a story from the perspective of a 12-year-old, that was the first time. And then it followed the films like Anchor Baby and Kunla Falayon's Phone Swap, Stephanie Okereke's Through the Glass. It was a bunch of films in that era that introduced a whole new mindset that wasn't just commercially driven. It was artistically and creatively primed to win awards, and that's when the awards started coming. And The Mirror Boy enjoyed considerable success in the awards. The Last Flight to Abuja, I had a purple patch in that period. But now, like you said, there has been some kind of democratization of quality in our industry, and it's not just enough to shoot with wonderful cameras and technical quality. It's demanding more of you as a filmmaker now.
Okay. So, I mean, tell us. Well, you are a lot of things, really. The transition between being a professional footballer, you also, of course, you studied theatre arts, and then you did law and all that, and then to now becoming a filmmaker, which is what we now know you to be.
There's a little bit more. I actually have a PhD in film from Goldsmith University of London. So I have been around the block.
Yeah.
And I'm doing master classes around the nation, Lagos, Port Harcourt, and Abuja. I've just come back from Port Harcourt. And what I'm telling the students and the people that I engage in those universities is, it took me a long time and took me a zigzag manner to get to somewhere that I consider to be of substance. But I wish that the creative young people out there would not have to go through such rigmarole to get to where they're trying to get to. So my journey has been, I would say, eclectic. I'm one of those people that would dance the dance with my age mates and move on to the next. I don't sit down and admire myself and admire my work and move on to the next.
Yeah.
So after I finished from the University of Nigeria in Nsukka, I walked into Rangers Football Club of Enugu and said, I'm good enough. Literally did. Said, I'm good enough. You know, you need a certain level of confidence bordering on arrogance to do that. And a few weeks later, I was playing in the first team. And afterwards, I went to the UK. I discovered that my theatre arts degree wasn't going to be very helpful. I needed a transition career. And my twin brother is a lawyer, so maybe I went into law. And I felt that law had transferable skills that I could take into the creative world. So I practiced law for a little while, and then when I felt the industry was coming up and I had built my own self-development to a decent level, I packed law up and faced film. I've faced film since then, and all the qualifications I've got extra have been in film.
Yes, I've noticed you can really never pack law up. You know, when you're a lawyer, when you study law,
once a lawyer,
there's a lot of things that it helps you with.
Yes.
Like, so no one can cheat you in things. It's not that you'll be fighting legal battles, but your mind and your eyes will be open to a lot of things that you know. So it's just like saying that I don't want to go to university. I want to study. I want to maybe do vocational training, which is good. Yeah. But they also tell you that when you go to school, whatever vocational job that you want to do, you'll be better at it. So it's not about the going to the university. Yeah. It's about being better at whatever it is that you want to do. There was some time we were doing a report on tailoring people in different jobs, and a tailor said, if you ran away from mathematics in school, you ran away because of math, you don't like math, I don't like math, and you now say, okay, I want to do tailoring itself, you will come back to make that math so even more severe conk than what you did in school. So at the end of the day, everything, you know, melts into itself.
Everything goes into everything.
So everything. So you can't run away from. The law makes you better.
No, it's reflected in my courage, in my chaotic industry. I bring a little bit of legal savviness. So for argument's sake, when Netflix sends me a contract, they expect me to just sign it.
You know.
But even though I'm not trying to show off, I write a 2-page rejoinder. Sometimes in their favor, because the contract doesn't cover them as much as it should. And that's it. So, but sometimes in our industry, you have to dumb down yourself a little bit so that you don't appear too smart, because people don't like to deal with very smart people.
Oh wow.
We're going to come to these awards in just a moment, but I'd like to talk about the future.
Yes.
People of your generation have held the fort, and I always like to ask whether, when you look at this generation of filmmakers and the practitioners, whether the future is in good hands. And one of the things I've personally been bothered, for instance, as maybe it's out of patriotism or whatever, when I go to cinemas, I try not to watch foreign movies. I stick to Nigerian movies. I don't know why, but it's just my own little support.
Thank you.
No matter how expensive it is, I'll watch it with my wife. So what I'm trying to say here is, but there are certain things I'm expecting to see. Yeah. Now, you are one of those I'm looking at to be able to make it happen, because you have a law degree, you have all these degrees. Intellectually stimulating series. I'm talking Suits, I'm talking Grey Anatomy. You know those series I'm talking about, The Good Doctor. Why don't we have such?
I would start by saying Rome wasn't built in a day. Our film industry is still very young. Like I said, only a few years ago, about 10 years ago, we were battling with marketers who were at the helm of things, and they held a stranglehold on everything and stopped any intellectual progression of the industry, because they will feel that would take the reins of power away from them. But we've broken free from that restraint now, and the industry is making huge progress. I would say the emergence of the streaming platforms into our ecosystem is a good thing, and also not such a good thing, because it has started curating a certain mindsets with the filmmakers, and also conditioning the taste buds of the audience in a particular way. But I think organically we are progressing to that position where some of those projects would come up. But at the moment, the biggest challenge in the industry is monetization. You make these projects, how do you make your money back? Do you go to the cinemas? Like I have a film in the cinemas called Safari that starts on the 21st of this month, Friday next week. And with the cinemas suffering some kind of, what would I say, fall in favor in the eyes of the public. It doesn't deliver as much returns as it used to. And then the streaming platforms that came with a little bit of dollar signs in front of our eyes have kind of receded. They've kind of retraced their steps. One left completely, the other is prevaricating between coming or going. So at the moment you put the effort to make those projects. How do you make your money back? Because this is a commercial project, and most times you borrow money, like I did with Safari from Providence Bank to make the film. You have to pay it back, and if you make the project and the likes of Netflix or Amazon Prime don't take it, where would you take it? So I think once we formalize and create domestic monetization platforms for our films, then it will be easy to take these risks, because right now they'll be considered risks.
So let's segue with what you're saying into what you're up to. What are you doing now? What's going on? I know you just mentioned your film.
Names of your financial.
What is that? What are you up to this period?
Yes, in our film, in our industry, there is no last bus stop. There's no arrival. Some people will say, I don't arrive. You don't arrive here. There's always a bus stop next. So I made a film called Safari that was shot between Kenya and Nigeria. It tells the story of a senator's wife who got tired of crying in her Lamborghini. And I promise you, this was written in 2015, and it was made last year. So it has nothing to do with the trending news concerning anybody in this period. But then she went to Kenya to try to find herself. And she gets entangled with a beach boy who was being accused of killing a British tourist. So she's gone from frying pan to fire. So it's a lively adventure story.
I can already imagine the twists. Absolutely. I can imagine the twists.
So Safari opens in Nigerian cinemas across the nation on the 21st of this month, on Friday next week. And the idea is to get people, and he won this award, Best Director, Best Outstanding Film, and Best Actress.
I'll go and see it.
Osas Igodaro, who's our actress.
When does it open again?
On Friday next week.
Friday next
Across
week.
all cinemas.
Across all cinemas.
I will try and go and see it.
Okay, that's
as
really
our own
nice.
support.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Right, it was lovely talking to you. Thank you so much for coming. I'm sure we hope to have you again. We'd like to have you guys come around.
Maybe you should have come with one of your cast members.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah. Maybe next time you're coming.
The draw, Osas Igodaro would have got more viewers, not me. An ugly Igbo man would not attract too many viewers. But you never know. Thank you.
All right, thank you. It was lovely, lovely, lovely talking to you. And congratulations. I hope your new movie does well, and we hope to get. I love it when Nigerian films get those numbers. It's not just for one producer, but when people have, everybody should get it, so that we can have our industry not so young again. And Rome was, he said Rome was not built in a day, but Rome got built. This Rome,
in the end.
Rome,
It's a reference point. But I must thank you, Obi Emelonye. I wish you the very best, and we wish the industry, which you are a key stakeholder, the very best, because if it grows, it's important. I like to look at the numbers, and I see that industry-wise it grows, but its contribution to GDP is still a bit abysmal because the numbers have not been properly aggregated. But with time, we'll get there. After all, California is the biggest economy, one of the biggest economies in the world. It's bigger than African economy at some point. Silicon Valley and Hollywood is a driver. So why can't our industry do the same? Thank you, sir. We appreciate you and all the work you've done for the industry. Thank you.
My pleasure.
And, that's the run for the day.
Yes, certainly.
Joker continues next week without me. Of course, I go back to my shows.
Never say never.
Nah.
I love to have you.
I'll catch you on Monday. I'll catch you on Monday, the morning brief, and on Lunchtime Politics weekdays. Thank you so much. I'm Jeffrey Uzama.
And I'm Joker Rogers. Bye.